Welcome everybody to the world of X Games Real Moto 2018. I'm your host Jack Matrani, and you are about to witness Moto X freeriding progression like never seen before in this highly anticipated video contest. 6 of the best riders in the world paired up with filmers of their choice to throw it all on the line, life or limb, high risk, even higher reward for what? The top honor in the game, an X Games gold medal and $25,000. Before we get any further, let's meet the athletes and see what they can do on the bike. And now let me introduce you to our legendary panel of judges.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, free rider, 10 times X Games gold medalist, second most X Games Moto, decorated next to Travis Pastrana, winner of the first X Games Real Moto, and now I'm a judge.
I am Mike Mason, 36 years old, Minden, Nevada, 9-time X Games medalist. Participated in the first ever Real Moto back in 2015.
My name is Jeremy Stenberg, been at X Games since day one. Got 17 X Games medals and a lot of broken bones from dirt bikes, and still doing it.
We have 5 different categories that we're using to help judge this competition. You have amplitude, there's technicality of riding, there's overall impression, and then you have the video edit and production value. We're looking for natural terrain, and if you do use a ramp, is it going to be creative?
Watching a video, you can be like, oh, this dude wins. But then when you break it down into the actual categories, it makes you really think about why you're choosing each dude, and it makes you be really picky about certain shots. The task at hand is like, you have this video that's 90 seconds, and you have to judge this against 5 other dudes.
Now that you know what Real Moto is, it is time to get into our parts, starting it off with the all-arounder. This guy can do anything on a bike. Let's see what he does in his first Real Moto part. This is Colton Haaker, filmed by Jimmy Bowron.
Hi guys, I'm Colton Haaker. I'm a two-wheel enthusiast. I'm a fan of every form of motorcycle riding, so if I can put all those skills into one edit, that would be my ultimate goal.
Great on a supercross track. He kills it on a motocross track. He's an enduro guy. He's a hard enduro guy. The enduro cross thing. He can 360, he can backflip, he can jump big, he can go fast. He can kind of do it all.
My dad was an ISD gold medalist in the 80s. When he had me, he had someone to share it with all of a sudden and teach.
We'd go up to Hollister Hills, it was right here local, and whoever got on that track, he would try to beat. It didn't matter who it was or what size bike they're on. He was pretty much the king of that track on a 60. So, and he took great pride in that, believe me. He's gone on to win the National Endurocross Series, and now 2 world championships in Super Enduro. That was a big milestone, man. It was, can you believe it? My son's a world champion. It's extremely proud.
My mom has always been super supportive, just more supportive from afar, if anything.
Watching Colton live is not my favorite thing. In fact, I like to avoid it whenever I can.
He wrecked bikes? Oh, he wrecked bikes. It was horrible. I for sure bought at least 2 motorcycles in parts to keep him running. But, he had a good time, and we had a good time doing it.
We're just outside of my hometown out here in Hollister, California. We're at a family friend's ranch.
Obviously, a project like this is huge, and it takes just tons of logistics and communication to bring everybody together in one place. I mean, we built a mile-long rhythm section on a ridge line at the top of these peaks, and it's, first of all, that's borderline impossible to do.
My ultimate one-line, downhill, free ride, motorcycle, bike park, Forenza. It's crazy.
There's barbed wire right up to the left side of the line, and off the other side, I mean, it's a 1,000-foot drop, and rattlesnake infested with wild boars and everything on top of it. So the risk that's going into this isn't very comfortable for anybody involved.
I wanted to shoot it in a way that we could see that I did everything from start to finish in one shot. That goes from a 360 to whips and jumps and technical wheelies and nose wheelies and anything with a flip. For me, Real Moto is all about just you and the bike, and time outside of that has ceased to exist. This is Colton Haaker, and this is my Real Moto edit.
Wow, that was incredible to see a different approach, everything filmed in that beautiful one shot. Is it enough for a gold medal though, judges?
I love how it was all shot in one clip. It was dope, but I didn't get super excited. Like, that's something I would want to go do and ride and have fun, but to me it was basically a straight rhythm with 2 tricks.
He has so much more potential to do crazy stuff where you like sit back and watch and like, that's gnarly. I love the vision of it. I just wish we would have saw a little more of that shocking factor out of him.
It was definitely a memorable piece. It was super cool, and mad respect goes to it. I just don't know if it's going to get him on top of the podium.
Coming up after the break, we return with the defending gold medalist Kris Foster, filmed by Anthony Vitale. Are they able to defend their gold medal? There's only one way to find out, right after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2018. This might be the most highly anticipated part because it's the defending gold medalists, Kris Foster and Anthony Vitale.
Kris Foster, I'm expecting everything out of you. You won last year, so you better be bringing the heat this year because I know these kids want to take your title.
Kris Foster, he is a guy that has really stepped up the level of free riding in the last few years. He's got mad style, he sends it big, and he does unique stuff.
Will they be able to hold on to their X Games gold medal? It's time to find out.
I'm Kris Foster, I'm from Kamloops, BC. I'm a freeride motocross rider. I think what's gotten me here is just all I want to do is ride bikes. Like, it's the main focus in my life. I've always just loved being on 2 wheels and flying through the air.
Christopher was not even 3 years old when he got his training wheels off, so we knew something was about to happen.
You couldn't keep him on the road. He'd be in the ditches, jumping everything he could find just to kind of get in the air.
Logs, ditches, rocks, whatever.
And then when I was 3 years old, we got a dirt bike that me and my sister used to share.
It was Hank. He wasn't too impressed with that.
I was a cross-country rider, so I'd take him out in the bush, and he hated it. Later on, we got him to a motocross track, and as soon as he could fly through the air, he was hooked.
Then Real Moto came about. That's been my main focus. Got a silver in 2016. Came back the next year and made sure that we got all the unique shots that we needed and made sure that it happened. Now we're defending our title and again, just trying to cover all our bases and make sure that we get everything really on point because I really want to defend my title and stay on top.
Obviously, we knew we had to defend, and defending is a gold medal is really hard. I told Kris, like, you know, we got to defend it, but more than anything, let's try to make something we're both 100% proud of. And that's our goal, really.
I find myself critiquing myself a lot because of the guys in the competition, making sure like that my jumps are going to be as big and comparable to theirs, and certain tricks that I do, I want to make sure that they're up to standards with the other guys, right? Because that's the name of the game. You're basically competing on every level with them. It's got to be a lot of just solid shots. You can't be messing around. There can't be like too many filler shots. It's got to be like just quality, big moves constantly, or very technical stuff, you know?
I think with Kris, what really sets him apart is the fact that he really, truly loves being on his motorcycle. And he really loves jumping his motorcycle, so it's fun for him, so it comes easy.
Tony's just on point. Like, he knows what he wants when he gets his shots, and it doesn't take long for him to just really hone in and get it perfect, you know, the first time. When we're doing big moves and they're, you know, one and dones, you want to have a guy like Tony with your master shot, you know?
He's running at it now. This year, we were fortunate enough to get the opportunity to work out at Sugarloaf Ranch here in Kamloops. And Sugarloaf is pretty cool because it has a lot of history. The Terra Firma crew was out here shooting back in the day, and the Krusty Demons crew were out here as well. You know, he's got a lot of fans, he's got a lot of people rooting for him, and he's got a huge circle of friends that just want to try to help him win, you know? So we have a lot of guys come out here and dig after work for free. You know, they come out, they want to hang, and they want to just support Kris, and it's a cool thing. You know, for a guy like him, this is the event. It's an opportunity for him to, you know, possibly win another gold medal. It's really important.
Real Moto is as important as it gets for my life, you know? I want to make my dreams come true with having my own compound and having my own spot, you know? And this is the way that I see doing it. I need to win. I'm Kris Foster, and this is my real moto part.
Kris Foster, are you kidding me? That was huge, and incredible job filming that, Anthony Vitale. In my opinion, that was an improvement from last year, but is it enough?
You can tell the effort was there. You know, they built some cool features out in the hills. It's got that free ride feel to it. He's blowing up corners as he's charging a jump, flipping, tricking, and then for the video quality to come along with it, like parallel it, might be a deciding factor towards the end that puts it over the top, because it is a team effort at the end of the day.
My first impression of Foster's video was like, this dude went big this year, and he's gnarly. And it's hard for me to judge Foster because nothing really showcased how technical of a rider he is, and that's one thing I look at from Foster is the dude's bad.
I mean, he won the gold last year, so this year he needed that kind of that one standout clip or that one standout jump just to be like, hey guys, look, you know, last year was last year. I'm pushing myself this year even more, and that's the only thing he really lacked. But overall, really good part. You know, everything was put together really well.
Thank you, judges. It is time to cut to a break, but when we come back, one of the gnarliest FMX riders in the industry, Colby Raha, filmed by Tyson Trainer. It's their first time putting up a real moto part, and you better believe it's going to be mind-blowing when we return. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2018. Our next rider, one of the most hardcore riders in the industry, Colby Raha. He's known to send it to the absolute limit. He's got the youngest filmer in Real Moto history, 16-year-old Tyson Trainer. I cannot wait to see how gnarly this part's gonna be.
Colby Raha, what a character this guy is, man. He's new to the scene, but rapidly making a name for himself.
Super dope on a BMX bike, super good on a dirt bike. Kid's young, he's hungry, he wants it, he goes big, he's gnarly.
Never actually seen him do the free riding edits, so really looking forward to digging into this kid's part and seeing what he can do.
What up? I'm Colby Raha. I'm from the high desert of California, and I've been riding pretty much my whole life. I grew up racing amateur nationals as a kid up until I was about 14, and started free riding when I turned 18. Got into freestyle, and now here we are. Yeah, I met Larry Linkogle, and he had a quarter pipe set up. I knew I wanted to ride one. It looked like a lot of fun.
You know, he came out, he put in the work, he started training.
And then that led into an X Games invite.
You know, that led to gold at X Games for quarter. And now for him to be able to be in Real Moto, that's just, you know, I couldn't be more excited for the kid.
Well, he's super motivated, first of all. He won't let anything stop him. If he's trying to get something done, we'll be up doing something till 4 in the morning trying to get it done. It's just like constant until it's done, it's done.
We could pretty much pull off whatever. The sky's the limit for the stuff we could do, and I wanted to kind of express that in the Real Moto. My riding style is more bigger stuff, more risky stuff, and like stuff that people wouldn't really want to jump or do. The big step down crash, I pretty much built that thing knowing I probably wasn't gonna land it. It was like, get it done now. If I crash and get hurt or break my wrist or something, I'll be out for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then I would have time to finish my edit out and be ready for X Games coming up right after that. It looked good building it, and then as soon as I was done building it, it looked like, hey, maybe this thing's a little too big.
He was like kind of freaking me out actually, because he usually never runs up to something so much and looks at it.
Yeah, I ended up, of course, going for it anyways.
Colby's crash was pretty much one of the heaviest crashes I've seen. He got completely destroyed on impact, hucked over the bars, tumbling down, spun on his back.
As soon as I crashed, I got up. I knew I broke my collarbone. I felt it. Pretty mangled. I'm gonna go home and try to find insurance on a Sunday. That's what I'm doing, so. And it's to the hospital tomorrow. Try to get this thing plated. Be back in like 3 weeks.
And we were seeing everyone's out there filming, getting all their stuff dialed, and we're just waiting at home.
Coming back into it, we weren't gonna have a whole lot of time, so I pretty much told Tyson, like, hey dude, you better get ready to go filming like every day, because we got a lot of stuff we need to get done.
It was a mission, just flat out, it was a mission.
I remember this house out in Joshua Tree. Looked perfect for jumping onto the roof and gapping off down the hill. So we went out there to check it out, and when we pulled up, someone had chopped all the supports out of the roof. Reinforcing it so I don't fall through it. We had to build a jump onto the roof. I was gonna build it out of dirt, but it was just, there was no time. Just driving up the dirt road, I seen a couple washer machines, and I'm like, hey, let's just pile those things up. Yeah, I didn't know if it would work for sure, but I had a good feeling, so jumped onto it a couple times, felt it out, and then launched off that thing. I think it looked cool, so it was worth it.
I really think the LA River was cool because it was more like skate BMX style, and it was just mixing it up in the video. So it's not all just tracks and just dirt hits, it's like concrete. It was pretty sweet. It was just like an impossible jump over a sidewalk, a wall, like there's another ledge and a fence at the bottom. He had to land on like a flat landing. It was just, there was so much happening, and we had to wake up at like 5 in the morning too.
Rode all the way through the city to get to where the bridge was. I had my buddy Bradders and Cody drop the ramp. It was pretty gnarly. It was just a blind ramp off of a bridge from where I was looking at it, so it was pretty sketchy looking. That was pretty much the last thing, so it was cool to wrap it all up. I'd like to thank Tyson for hanging it out and being locked in my van for like 3 weeks straight and pulling it off, getting all the shots.
Thanks Colby for getting all the jumps done, making it on everything, making the LA drop, the house transfer, everything. It was pretty much the craziest video ever, I think. I don't know what else there is to do.
It's been pretty hectic, but we got it all done and stoked. Pretty much everything I wanted it to be, so it's cool. I'm Colby Raha, and this is my Real Moto segment.
That was insane. As expected, about as hardcore as any video part I've ever seen from Colby Raha and Tyson Trainer. I mean, there's nothing holding that kid back, even a broken collarbone. And the fact that he had suicidal tendencies one of my favorites for sure.
That step down was so gnarly. Like when I saw that thing, I like stood up. I was like, oh my God, like that was gnarly. Like I think that big old crash just set the vibe for his video. Like there was no in between. It was just boom, 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 done. And you're like, dude, I need to watch that again. Like I feel like there's so much stuff I missed. One thing I noticed about his videos, I feel like his filmer did everything so like his own style because that's all he knows. He's so young. The kid's 16, 17 years old. There's some cool stuff and there's some stuff that's okay. There's some lighting issues, but I'm like, it fits them perfect. It's the perfect video for Raha and his filmer for sure.
Oh my God, I feel like I just got slapped in the face with the metal band and some old school Moto. I really appreciate the effort that he put in, like going to locations. You know, there's so much stuff, I can't even take it all in.
My first impression when I saw his part was, this is rad. This is what I used to watch growing up riding, you know, and he captured that style of filming perfectly.
Thank you for the insight, judges. When we come back from the break, we have the multi-talented Jimmy Hill, shot by Joe Carlino. Don't you dare go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2018. Our next rider, Jimmy Hill, the multi-talented, artistic, he's got style for days. He even wrote his own song for this part, and I can't wait to see it. Why? Because it's shot by the widely respected Joe Carlino. Enjoy it.
Jimmy Hill, I know what you can do on a motorcycle. I know you're a creative little dude. Do not let me down. I want to see something cool. I want to see your heart and soul poured into this edit.
My name is Jimmy Hill. My mom knows me as James, and Instagram knows me as Hillsack.
I'm 27 years old, and I come from Walker Basin, California.
We're pretty isolated. We're an hour from the city, 30 minutes from town, and yeah, my whole family's been up here since '72.
Pretty much, if you're in the Hill family, you ride motorcycles. We're 3 generations deep right now in motorcycle riders, and it doesn't look like it's gonna change anytime soon. The passion's still here, and I love being able to share that passion with my family too.
For as long as I can remember, we've been a motorcycle family. I grew up around it, was influenced by my dad, and I just wanted to do the same thing he did.
My grandpa is a legend, okay? He actually invented the whip. True story.
I was never any good at it, but it was a good place to spectate from. And I got to watch all the good guys go by.
It was natural that when my boys came along, they did the same thing. And fortunately, we had a piece of property we could come to and not be bothered or bother anybody and just enjoy the motorcycle lifestyle.
Jimmy was riding before he was even born. I used to take him on rides while I was still pregnant with him. It's what we do. It's in our blood. It's what we love to do. Just very blessed to be able to.
Right from 1 year old, like I was exposed to motorcycles, I was exposed to like hot rods, and I was exposed to really good people too, you know, which is a huge impact on the way I am.
I get out every chance I get and do some laps with Jim and go bar to bar.
As soon as I saw Joe's style of filming, I thought, man, if we could combine your style of filming, my style of riding, like maybe we can make something unique out of it.
Let me tell you all about a boy named Joe. Joe, his family descended from Italy, as you can tell by his last name, Carlino. But he also came to America, and now he likes snowboarding and motorcycles. Joe's a nice guy, I think. Joe Carlino and Hillsack, Real Moto. Thank you, ladies.
And I think because he looks outside of motocross for his inspiration is why he does what he does, you know? And I think that is what separates him, and that's why he was invited into this contest, you know? And I mean, that's why I followed him on Instagram before I even met him.
I don't check it until 9 o'clock, and I'll only look at it for approximately 10 posts, because after 10 posts, it's just garbage, you know? So we got first, girlfriend post, Tedesco photo post. That's you, dude.
He can do it all, whether it's film, make music, come up with a creative concept, skateboard, dirt bike, flat track. When you have all those different tools and skill sets at your disposal, that's great, it's special, and it shows in what he brings to the table.
Real Moto to me personally is about my friends, it's about my family, and it's about spreading the love and the joy of motorcycle riding. It means so much to me to ride motorcycles, and I get so much enjoyment out of it, so that's really Moto. It doesn't get any more real than this right here, buddy. I'll tell you that much.
I'm just proud to see him follow in my footsteps the way I followed my dad in his footsteps, and it's just neat to be the third generation in the family to ride motorcycles and to be the only one in the family who's actually making a living out of it. That's just great.
That's what we call some donuts, boys.
I get a big charge out of watching Jimmy ride because it's the third generation of the hill riding team.
Dude, I'm really glad that I picked you to film this.
Thanks.
So stoked. I just said that for the camera.
Soundbite machine. It's fake, kid.
That's right. Hey, you watching this right now? Jimmy Hill, watch my Real Moto part. It's gonna be on TV in about 3 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
As expected, I'm giving that one 2 thumbs up. The combination between Jimmy's creative riding and then Joe Carlino's cinematic masterpiece was amazing. But let's see what the judges have to say about it.
That was a feel-good piece, man. It like put an instant smile on my face and made me appreciate that guy's style and riding, you know, more than I ever have.
Jimmy's part was insane. So many creative shots that I've actually never seen before. The slow-mo shots where the branches are moving, the foot plant off the limb he did. It's like there was so much stuff that a lot of guys don't ever think about. I feel like Jimmy's part captured his personality perfect.
Overall video, my favorite video to watch is Jimmy Hill's video because Joe Carlino's a dope filmer. He has a different eye on things and you see it. I just felt like Jimmy, he just didn't bring it. He did some cool stuff and got some cool shots. I feel like Jimmy Hill's edit overpowers his riding.
Just remember, Twitch, I invented the whip.
After the break, the brotherly duo Axell and Ash Hodges, do they finally have what it takes to win their first gold medal? Find out right after this. Welcome back to the world of X Games Real Moto 2018. Our next rider, one of my favorites, Axell Hodges, filmed by his older brother Ash Hodges. Axell's got a mellow 500,000 followers on Instagram. It's his 3rd time competing. You know he wants this gold medal.
I gotta say, Axell Hodges is one of the most talented people I've seen on a dirt bike.
Axell's one of the most technical guys on a dirt bike right now.
Axell Hodges is definitely a guy I'm looking for big things out of. I know what the dude's capable of, and I know how good and how technical of a rider he is.
He's got more skill than Twitch does in his little pinky finger. I'm just kidding, Twitch.
What's up? I'm Axell Hodges. I'm 21 years old, and this is my 3rd year in Real Moto.
He's all about style, technicality, and going big.
From day one, all he saw was motorcycles.
His first word was Momo.
Probably watched Krusty 1 like over 1,000 times. And he was just like, 2, 3, just like sitting there with the Capri Sun, just like looking at him talking.
And he would just sit there and look through motocross magazines of yours.
He pretty much grew up going and riding a PW50 with Jeremy McGrath. He doesn't even know any better. Like he just sort of grew up to like the king.
I met Axell when he was probably 4 years old. He had this long, shaggy hair. He was a little wild man back then, and we've been riding ever since, 20 years.
For Christmas, we got him a PW50.
And then Dad
And we got Farrah
quad.
Honda 90
Yeah.
quad. And then Jeremy McGrath called and asked us to go riding at, where'd we go, Pitchell's.
And you forgot to tell me. There's a little jump. He went up the jump, and it was like behind trees, kind of was at the top of the lake bed.
He's coming up, and another guy's dropping in, and they get in a head-on collision.
Ended up his foot peg went in my leg, snapped my femur.
We know his leg's broke. I'm scared to look at it.
Then he's holding his leg, and he's like this tall, and so we pull his pants off. His leg just falls out like that.
And then
that's when I hit the deck.
You dropped.
I was in my dad's arm, just didn't even know what happened, just blowing my brains out.
When you see a little kid with a broken leg, especially a femur, you're just like, what just happened?
And next thing you know, he's in Children's Hospital. He's in traction, femur already broken, face already like ripped open, like stitches all the way up, and my mom was just not having it.
She's like, what did you do to my baby?
We came home, and then Amber was over motorcycles, so.
I sold them all.
Saying is you're not moto until you break a femur, right? So he got that done at 5. So there was a time where he didn't ride. I don't know the exact years, but 5 or 6. He didn't ride till he's like 10 or 11. Like started easing back into it, maybe even 12.
All my buddies' kids never want to ride. I sat there looking at my kid and go, okay, he wants to ride. So we went home one day, coming home from the track, I bought him a bike. I told him, you cannot let mom know about this.
We'd call it sneak riding because my mom didn't know about it.
They didn't tell me because they knew I felt that way, and then I realized that it was his passion, and I couldn't control what his passion was, and he didn't have to sneak around anymore.
He's still sneaking around.
He's still sneaking
He's
around.
still sneaking around. He's
Yeah.
sneaking. He's got a different level of sneak.
The way my career went was kind of really unplanned. I grew up racing. I always wanted to be the best racer in the world, and that's what I was pursuing as growing up. The last couple of years racing, I wasn't doing too hot, and at that point I was kind of over it, trying to figure out if I was going to go to college or get a job, like what I really was going to do. I just kept riding in the meantime and pretty much messed around at my house every day and filmed it on my iPhone, and Instagram became a thing, and I just did that stuff for fun, not really thinking that it's going to turn into my job. Pretty much an accident if you were to ask me, but I get to have fun riding my dirt bike. I wasn't really so much into the ball sport thing growing up. I always liked the skateboards, the BMX bikes, the snowboarding, so I feel like that has a huge impact in my riding style because I do that sorts of stuff on day-to-day basis where I'm manualing stuff like I would on a BMX bike, bonking stuff like I would on a snowboard, and everything has its own impact on my riding. The location we chose to shoot at was Jeremy McGrath's ranch.
I couldn't believe what they actually came up with. Huge stuff.
It's a film competition, so the camera work is part of the competition. You want to have your stuff look good, coloring good, editing good, so all the camera equipment we use is top of the grade stuff, so that all kind of is a determining factor to our video.
You know, I grew up on moto videos. My whole goal is just to make them better, dude. You know, I'm trying to really showcase like innovation in writing and filming. Instead of the content, now it's all about just, you know, stepping up the film game as well, from helicopters to drones. Last year, you know, he did a mini flip, which was progression for him, but it wasn't really progression for the sport. This year, the goal was to, you know, progress the sport.
What I did was definitely really scary doing it, but it all worked out and came out good, so I'm stoked for everyone to see it.
I don't know where to go from here. He scares me every time we go out.
I just want to keep dirt biking fun and keep making my videos and get people stoked off riding dirt bikes.
That was a good shot. Okay, got it. Yeah.
I'm Axell Hodges, and this is my real moto.
Are you kidding me, Axell? That was by far one of the coolest parts I've ever seen.
Literally at a loss for words. The video was dope. Straight up, it was sick. Super creative, coloring was good, the writing was good. He definitely stepped out of his element. The nose wheelie, the front flip, like, who does that? Like, nobody's doing that. That's like a full BMX trick. And the alley-oop transfer on the half pipe on the very beginning and just going through like that tight canyon, like, that's just dope. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go ride there. I can't, like, this is done. TV show's aired. Can I go ride your spot, please?
For him to come out of the box like that, do something completely different from what any other rider's ever done is awesome. I think he went, light years above what he's done before and really put 100% effort into this thing.
I felt like it was something that I've seen before from him. So I guess I was hoping for more free ride, if that makes any sense. And this was like complete opposite. It was like a perfectly manicured riding spot.
When we come back from the break, our final entry from Brian McCarty and Josh Metzger, followed by the Real Moto 2018 results. Who's taking home the gold medal? Right after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2018. We're about to get into the awards, but before we do, we have our final segment with Brian McCarty and Josh Metzger. And with the nickname McNarls, you know this part's going to be gnarly.
Brian McCarty, aka McNarls, is just that. He's a gnarly dude, rides the crap out of the bike, and is known to send it.
I'm Brian McCarty. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Free riding a motorcycle to me, it's kind of like art. It's like anything you have a passion for, it's your release. It's your drug of freedom, pretty much. I think that's one cool thing about Real Moto is it shows the aspect of a rider's skill level of hitting a dirt jump, because it changes after the first jump. Ramps, they stay the same, they never change. It's not a satisfying feeling when I go out and I don't do something where I feel like I didn't push myself or if I didn't accomplish something that I had in my head. To get the invite for Real Moto, it's been something I've wanted for a long time because I love free riding, that's what I'm good at, and it was a big pump up for me with riding to now be like, okay, now I get to do and show the world what I can do on a bike. To get the chance to do it was cool, but I shot myself in the foot and had a bad crash. Had a jump built 170 foot.
He felt ready before I was ready.
And nobody knew that I was gonna hit the 170 and I went for it. Ended up landing on top of the landing, decking it, and got sent another 70 feet out to flat to where I broke my hip, my pelvis, and a compressed crack 5 disc in my back, punctured both my lungs, and I was knocked out.
To be honest, it was one of the most disturbing things I've ever witnessed in my life.
When I woke up too, I was in the ambulance, headed to the hospital, went in for surgery. I got 2 screws and 2 pins put in my hip and pelvis, and my back, it's kind of just compression cracks to let it heal on its own. But the crash put me out, ended my Real Moto. But we accumulated enough footage to put something together.
I'm super stoked that Brian is actually alive and he's recovering quickly, and I can't wait to see him come back 10 times stronger next year.
I'm Brian McCarty, and this is my Real Moto.
And that part right there was just a true testament to how gnarly this sport actually is.
I know McNarls. I know how big the kid goes. I know he got hurt right away. So for me, I was expecting to see his crash in the video, to see him get messed up. But it was just the same spot with 2 jumps, and then 1 jump was in the video, 8 different shots. And for me, it just didn't do anything.
You know, he went for it and he got hurt filming his Real Moto part. So, I mean, that's saying something. It's unfortunate, but we know who McNarls is. He'll be back stronger than ever.
Now that we've seen all the parts, and before we get to the results, judges, take me through some of the highlights of Real Moto 2018.
Definitely Axell's front flip to nose wheelie and then tuck. That's pretty much full commitment there.
Axell's ollie-oop in the quarter pipe. No one does that. That's like BMX style, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, it's dope.
Haaker's 360 jibs, whatever that's called, is one of a kind.
Jimmy Hill, you know, foot tapping the log and hitting the branches and stuff.
Raha's gnarly crash, his jump down into the concrete ditch.
Foster's uphill backflip, looking at the camera. I thought that was just a really creative display of riding.
There's nobody that's like a clear cut all the way down the boards, top dog in each category.
Raha's video gave me the feeling that I wanted to watch his video over and over and over. Foster's video was sick because he went huge, and Axell's video was dope because it was super technical.
Jimmy Hill and Colton, their parts were amazing, filmed perfect, great ideas. Just needed a little more spice or a little more zip to them.
Colby's is like a video that I keep watching over and over again and finding more things that I'm respecting.
Kris Foster rode great. All of his stuff was amazing.
I have to be able to back up my first, second, and third place like 100%. If anyone calls me out on anything, I'm gonna tell you, like, dude, this is what I did. This is what you didn't do. This is what this guy did. And for me, that's the hardest part.
People have laid their lives on the line to try to win this contest. So I'm gonna give it my all to judge it right.
All right, judges, the time has come for you guys to cast your vote. Who is going to be the winner of Real Moto 2018?
All right, Jack, I've made my decision. Sending over right now.
Done.
It's out of my hands now. Good luck, guys.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The judges have voted. I have the results. It is with my honor to present the bronze medal of Real Moto 2018 to Colby Raha and Tyson Trainer. In second place, last year's defending gold medal, Kris Foster and Anthony Vitale. Congratulations to you guys. And that leaves us with our gold medalists. Congratulations to Axell and Ash Hodges on winning their first Real Moto gold medal. And now, in true X Games fashion, it is time to go to their house and surprise them with the gold.
Okay, we just arrived at Axell's house. So excited to give them the gold medals. They have no idea what's coming. We're about to give them the surprise of a lifetime. Let's do this. They're in there right now. They think that they're doing an interview for Real Moto, but really?
When I go on the airplane, I just sit on it back up like this.
Gotta stand down. Can't be recognized or they'll know.
Yeah, just kind of another dude I don't really want to talk about.
Oh, are you guys doing an interview?
Got a very exciting announcement. Congratulations on winning Real Moto 2018.
Okay, you guys, look.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
How does it feel to be the winners of Real Moto 2018?
Feels really good. It's a nice breath of fresh air and relief.
Once again, a huge congratulations to Axell and Ash Hodges on winning this year's Real Moto 2018. Congratulations to every single one of the athletes, the filmers, Mike Mason, Ronnie Renner, and Jeremy Stenberg. Thank you guys so much for joining us. The future of freeriding is in the best hands. We can't wait to do it again next year. This is Real Moto 2018. Jack Matrani signing off. Peace.